AEW threatened that their stars are leaving, a backstage incident after Dynamite, a WWE Name Let Go, and more. I'm Ollie Davis, and this is the WrestleTalk News.
Support WrestleTalk!
Get exclusive videos over on our Patreon. There's been loads of speciality-themed episodes of AEW Dynamite in the past. We've had St. Patrick's Day Slam, Road Rager, and my personal favourite, Quake by the Lake. But now there's a new piece of branding in town, Travel Mayhem. AEW CEO Tony Khan posted before the Wednesday 7th episode that because of flight cancellations, several AEW wrestlers were struggling to get to the show. I've held back other announcements anticipating Travel Mayhem and will change accordingly. This mainly affected the already announced rematch of the Conglomeration vs Roosh the Beast Muertos and Roderick Strong, as the Conglomeration's Mark Briscoe and Kyle O'Reilly couldn't make it in time. I like to imagine Mark Briscoe in a Delaware airport somewhere still cutting an 18-hour-long continuous promo on Delta. Instead, Cassidy teamed with FTR to win the match. They're from North Carolina, where the show was held, so Travel Mayhem wasn't so much of a concern. There's no word on what other matches were affected by the issues. But the backstage drama wasn't done there, as quickly after the end of Dynamite, AEW's official X account posted there was an incident involving Hangman Page and Jeff Jarrett, video to come. Don't play with my PTSD over backstage incidents in AEW. Thankfully, the incident was kayfabe, where Hangman Page brawled with Jeff Jarrett in a post-show interview, and Mariah May and Tony Storm, who hadn't been seen since their in-ring pull-apart brawl about an hour earlier, also just entered the shot fighting. Tony himself tweeted, "It was right by my chair as we wrapped up." There is currently no word on how many monitors might have fell on him. With Hangman not having a direction for All In, it's speculated he could be facing Jarrett at the show following this angle. It's previously been reported that AEW originals Penta and Rey Fenix are set to leave the company once their contracts expire. Fightful Select have now confirmed there have been discussions in WWE about bringing them both in. Apparently Penta and Fenix, who are real-life Lucha Bros, want to be a package deal, so coming together as a team, and they want to go straight to the main roster, not to start in NXT. This might be because Penta is 40 years old and is eager to be on either Raw or SmackDown as soon as possible. One source close to them said both might appear in Orlando sooner rather than later to prepare for the defection, and that Penta's contract expires this month while Phoenix's is up in September. AEW did want to re-sign them both, but the brothers kept delaying those conversations and recently filed for trademarks on their ring names and catchphrases. And that's where the scourge of AEW comes in. Conan. Despite being used by AEW in their first few years, Conan seemingly fell out with Tony Khan and started criticising the booking on his podcast. Since then, AEW has favoured CMLL over Mexico's other main promotion, AAA, which Conan books. Back in June, Conan warned Khan that what goes around comes around, and to have your little fun while you can. He has now posted, "What comes around goes around too," or DOS. Conan has been a mentor to Penta and Phoenix, and he might have had their ear on leaving AEW. How do you want to see the Lucha Bros debut in WWE? Let me know in the comments down below, where I'll be replying to people from out of nowhere, saying it should always be Penta! Sometimes people leave WWE these days too, it's just not often their own choice. PW Insider is reporting that WWE's Vice President of Talent Relations Operations, Kristen Altman, was let go by the company this week. Altman has been with WWE since 2007 and is the 40th known name released by the company this year, with over half of them from executive positions following the corporate merger between WWE and the UFC last September. Our latest episode of Video Game Club is now live, with us playing Spider Heck. Here's a clip.
There once was a man that they said was lame, but his name was Brave Sir Gawain.
He had such an absolutely enormous brain. Of course, it's Brave Sir Gawain.
They called him wily as a fox, for he hid inside a box.
And he had the lover's pox. His name was Brave Sir Gawain.
He fell into the lava there, but rescued him by fairest hair.
It really, really, really scare me when you are Brave Sir Gawain.
Go watch us play Spider Heck on Control Freaks right after my review of AEW Dynamite Travel Mayhem. in about 5 minutes. I'm pretty sure now that Dynamite's opening theme is actually MJF's. He opened the show for the 4th week in a row, taking on Kyle Fletcher with Don Callis on commentary and Kyle's best friend and MJF's all-in opponent Will Ospreay watching from backstage, who he later found out was barricaded in his locker room so he couldn't stop a post-match beatdown. MJF played his typically excellent old-school heel, stalling, getting cocky after just one move, being an American hero, for the might of Australia, Fletcher, to get a sudden babyface comeback. Fletcher looked so good near the end of the match, I bought into not just one, but 2 near falls. A reverse pin of MJF's Panama Sunrise and the second of a tombstone. But what's with the Don Callis family all finding their morality as of late? Don chucked Fletcher a screwdriver to beat MJF with, which isn't that heelish considering how MJF cheats with weapons to win the majority of his matches, like against Kyle's own best mate Ospreay, but Kyle couldn't bring himself to use it. I wouldn't have minded him going for it, out of justified vengeance for how Max took Will's title, for MJF to dodge it and cheat to win by himself. Instead, MJF won clean after Fletcher threw the screwdriver away, pushed down the referee, and then blooded Kyle with the diamond ring. Ospreay made it down just in time to save Fletcher from a tiger driver, smartly wearing a white t-shirt to get Kyle's blood all over his chest, looking like me after eating a double Big Mac at 1 a.m. Mariah May then beat Viva Van with a series of Tony Storm's moves, which set up a really cool post-match angle. May unwrapped a present, which was a picture of Tony and Mariah hugging. She laughed, but she didn't realise what was written on the back. The Mariah, the.
No one who speaks German could be an evil man.
Tony made a surprise attack and the referees pulled them apart. We got a character vignette getting over Jack Perry's edgy, psychotic personality, showing him smashing in old TVs with AEW clips on with an axe, which was somewhat undermined by the broadcast then cutting to a Taco Bell commercial. Because, combined with Perry's last line, it made him seem like he was willing to sacrifice a beefy 5-layer burrito. The Learning Tree attacked Shibata after he had beaten Brian Keith, which was all a setup for the return of Hook. I'm glad Hook and Shibata are back, but my god, I am yet again feeling the crushing stagnation of the Chris Jericho
Mid-card vortex!
Renee interviewed Hangman Page backstage, who's still really fixated on Swerve Strickland. Try the Headspace app, Hangman. Gotta let go of this rage. Speaking of, Strickland had a sit-down interview with JR to build his all-in match against Bryan Danielson. Using JR in this way really helps elevate the already historic stakes for their feud, as Swerve claimed he doesn't care about ending a father, and when he beats Danielson, his legacy will belong to him. Due to travel issues, Orange Cassidy had to team with North Carolina's own FTR against Roderick Strong, Roosh and the Beast Muertos. It meant we got more of an FTR-style match than the crazy 6-man spots we've had in previous weeks. It was still really enjoyable, and you can't blame anyone for the travel issues, it was just different. The heels lost this time after Roosh got in what appeared to be a legit strike exchange with Dax and Cash. It's still real to him, damn it! So FTR hit a big rig on him to win. The Acclaimed came down demanding that tag title shot they won almost 2 months ago. Fair, but they brawled with FTR. I'm struggling to get into this feud without the actual tag team champions being involved. Christian revealed it'll be the House of Black versus the Bang Bang Gang on Collision to determine the Patriarchy's Trios titles challengers at All In, for which he'll be the special guest referee. A very fun wrinkle, but not as fun as how Killswitch doesn't get to hold his own Trios title belt in these segments, it's just given to Shayna. We got a character vignette for Hologram, aka Teenage Tony Khan's cool create-a-wrestler character on No Mercy. Zoom, whip, whip, whip. How do you escalate the Brickhouse Camille simple squash match from last week? Well, you have the Brickhouse Camille squashing 2 enhancement talents this week. Mercedes cut a promo afterwards reminding us how Britt was suspended by the EVPs. Way to work yourself into a shoot system, much love HH Kiss. But then Tony Schiavone revealed Tony Khan has actually lifted that suspension. I'm really lost on what AEW's management organogram is, and Britt Baker is not here tonight. She's on satellite. For this week at least, I felt as though the backstage rumours of Britt and MJF's fallout has sapped some of my enjoyment rooting for the babyface. It was announced that Claudio will take on Okada for the Continental Championship next week, after Claudio won a 3-way on Collision, and the main event saw Bryan Danielson take on Jeff Jarrett, which got started right away when Jarrett whacked a guitar over Danielson's back during his entrance. Both men perfectly told the story of the veteran who wants the other wrestler to be the best he can be, by beating the crap out of him. Jarrett loves you, Danielson. That's why he's suplexing you onto a bin. Making me feel like I was watching TNA from 15 years ago, Jarrett immediately brawled into the crowd and had a fun fight on the concourse. They traded weapon shots and submissions, but Danielson won with a running knee with a chair. The two men embraced afterwards, and special guest Ricky Steamboat, not special guest referee Ricky Steamboat, you can tell because he had neither a referee shirt, a body cam or a bracelet on, raised both their hands. Swerve came down afterwards, towing just the right line of tweener, again promising to take Danielson's legacy. Next week, he's going to fight Wheeler Yuta to show Danielson why he is the most dangerous man in AEW, aka Yuta's gonna bleed a lot, I'm sorry about that. There wasn't anything bad on this show, but it did feel like a bit of a filler episode. This week's Dynamite is 72%. Now go watch us play Spider-Heck over on our video game channel, Control Freaks.